Do you have a property in your neighborhood that you think is contaminated? We hear of terms Brownfield and Superfund, but what does it all mean? The legacy of toxic waste is very present in our neighborhoods. At Clean Air, we work to ensure that our people have access to safe, clean, and dignified communities. Part of how we do this is to follow, participate in, and push for more decision-making power in cleanup programs for our area. It can be a little complicated, so first, a few things to know. To start, there are two different government agencies that oversee remediation programs. The federal government oversees remediation programs through the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA. The administrator for this agency is appointed by the President of the United States. New York State oversees remediation through the New York Department of Environmental Conservation, or DEC. The commissioner of the DEC is appointed by the Governor of New York. In this video series, we will be talking about the New York State programs. In New York State, the DEC has two paths to clean up toxic waste, the Brownfield Cleanup Program and the State Superfund Program. Both programs are designed to clean up waste that could harm our health. The pathways for each are different. So what are those differences? First, let's talk about the differences between the programs themselves. The Brownfield Program and State Superfund Program differ in the following ways. What types of sites are in each program? The Brownfield Cleanup Program is designed to clean up smaller-scale sites where there is a legacy of toxic waste and where the company responsible for polluting is long gone. Think about old gas stations, dry cleaners, or the old scrapyard that went bankrupt when your grandfather worked there. These sites are very common in our neighborhoods. The Superfund Program is designed to clean up sites that pose a significant threat to our health. These sites typically are owned by companies that are still in business, even if the business on the contaminated site has closed. Sites that can wind up in the Superfund program can be chemical manufacturing factories, coke and coal plants, hazardous waste landfills, and other industries that pose a great threat to our health and the environment. Voluntary versus enforced. The Brownfield Cleanup Program, or BCP, is a voluntary program where new landowners or developers decide that they want to build something new and need to clean up the toxins on the site to do it. The owner sets the goals for what level of cleanup they want to do and the rate of pay they set for remediation works. The Superfund program is an enforcement program where the DEC forces a polluter to pay to clean up the contamination they cause. The DEC sets the standards for the level of cleanup on these sites. The rate of pay for remediation workers is subject to prevailing wage law, which pays a competitive and higher rate to all workers on site. Who pays? In the Brownfield Cleanup Program, the new developer pays to clean up the site but is then given New York State tax credits and grants from our tax dollars to offset their cleanup costs. Those taxes you just paid, a portion of that pays back developers for cleaning up and rebuilding. In the Superfund program, the polluter or polluters are responsible for the costs that are associated with the site cleanup and remediation. If the polluter refuses to pay, the DEC is legally able to start the cleanup and then sue the polluter to recoup the costs. This is called cost recovery. Oversight and public input. DEC runs both programs. Both have public input and engagement processes. The Brownfield program has 3 moments where the community can share their comments. The Superfund program has 2 moments where the community can give input and has moments where the DEC must give public presentations about the cleanup plans. Unfortunately, these programs do not have the same level of community participation as the EPA's federal Superfund program. In state-run programs, the public can give input after the DEC makes decisions, but are not decision makers before decisions are made. In the federally run program, the public can be part of a community advisory board and be part of the process to make sure the cleanup centers are needs and voices. Both of these programs are designed for toxic land to be remediated to protect environmental and public health and are important in our communities. Now that we're clear on how these programs are different in New York, let's dig into how they work. This video was produced with membership dollars. Join us by visiting our website at www.cacwny.org and join our movement for environmental justice, public health, and dignity.